Hello, it is May 20th, 2020, and we are down here in Mount Crawford, Virginia. I am meeting up a driver here. I am actually bringing him an empty trailer. He has a load, Dan load that's going up to Pennsylvania, and I am going to be bringing his load back to the yard and dropping it. I guess the boss man's dad is going to deliver this load, but this guy here, he's not able to run it up there, and then he's supposed to pick up a load on Mount Crawford here. I think this is so that I could stay out here, because I was supposed to pick up a load down here. So I think that's why this is going on, because the boss wants to keep me out here and try to get some of this stuff done. Alright, let's do this. You guys want to see how to spend $1,000 somebody else's money? Let's go to Harbor Freight and let somebody else pay for it. Stuff like this, just I gotta do an axle, so I gotta push the axle. I need to pull, push, pull. I thought this was funny. Bought this. It was a cart. 250 pound capacity. I actually weighed myself last night. I bought a scale last night for this weight challenge thing. I needed to weigh myself, and I'm actually 249. Whew, hope it holds. I need to lose some weight. Just stuff, breaker bar, you know, just tools, just deep well impacts and stuff. He's got some part trays, you know, just a bunch of different little stuff. So he let me go shopping on his money. Hey, I bought myself a really nice digital torque wrench. That's nice. Alright, I'm gonna unload all this and get going. I gotta start working on this truck in here. Well guys, it is dinner time. I'm gonna make, I just made myself up a dinner inside the truck. I'm gonna sit down and have some dinner. It is right here. It's pretty good. It is Spanish rice with turkey pork chops, they call them. I found them out here at the Walmart. I did a little shopping, and it's actually turkey pork chops. It's basically like a big turkey breast, and they cut them in like pork chop size. And I put a little bit of seasoning on it. It's like a Mediterranean seasoning I use for like chicken stuff, and put it in my George Foreman grill. And there's my dinner tonight. And a little Larry bread. I love this stuff. This is Sara Lee artisanal, I want to say it, bread or something like that. It's really good stuff. I love this stuff. It's actually called Larry bread. The story behind that is the woman that I'm seeing, she has a granddaughter. She's like 5, I think, 4 or 5. And she was down by my place, and she had this bread. I made her some toast or something. She was like, wow, that is awesome bread. What is that? And I told her about it. I said, that's the bread I buy. And she got home, she went shopping for it, and her granddaughter was over, and she gave her the bread, and she was like, where did this bread come from, Grandma? And she said, oh, that's Larry. He showed me that stuff. So she calls it Larry bread. She says, we need to go to the store and get some more Larry bread. So I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to get started working on this truck. I want to drop the drive line and pull the transmission tonight. Well guys, we're going to start dropping this drive line. By the drive line, what I mean is the drive axle, or the drive shaft, I'm sorry, the drive shaft. So you got a U-joint here, you got a carrier bearing in the middle, it's got another U-joint there. The carrier bearing is coming out, I'm going to be replacing that, and then there's a U-joint on the back of the transmission. It's all, I'm going to pull the whole drive shaft out. So there is some bolts, there's 2 bolts that have like a U-clamp on it that holds the U-joint together. They are a 12-point socket. You need a 12-point socket, and they're on there for high strength. And you can just use a breaker bar to kind of break them loose and everything. You just put it on there. There we go. Let's give her a couple cranks just to make sure she's loose. You want to make sure you get the socket all the way on there if you strip one of these out, they're a bugger to get off if you mess up the head on it. There we go. I'm just breaking it loose for the, and then I'll go up underneath there and use an impact to pull it out. Alright guys, we're ready to, we got all our bolts broken loose. Ready to pull out this drive shaft. The first thing you want to do when you're doing this, little tip for you guys, is get a rope. Get a piece of a rope, tie it around one of the frame members, put it underneath the drive axle, up over the top of the other one, and then tie it off someplace. And the reason we want to do this is because it's really hard to do this. These drive shafts are really heavy, and if you take one part off, it's easier to keep it straight to take the other side off. And once you get the other side off, then this side will just be hanging by the rope, and then you can take it and drop the other side, come over here, loosen the rope up, and then slow it down. This is just a way to do it if you're doing it by yourself. That's all it is to it. I'm just tightening up my rope a little bit. I noticed it was a little bit loose. There we go. Let's pull all our U-joint bolts. Then usually a couple hits with the hammer will get it loose. Can't really get a swing on that side. It's coming. It's in there. One side's free. There she goes. So that's free now. So now I'm going to go and remove the other side, and then see the side will stay up. It's easier because if you drop it down an angle, sometimes you can't get the bolts on the other side to get it in that bind up spot. Okay, here she goes. Now it's free. So now I can use both hands. Drop this side down. Put it on the ground. Now you can see this side is still up on that piece of rope. So now we just bring our rope loose. We just lower it down. It's a really easy way to do this by yourself. It's hard to get a drive axle up on both ends. And if you don't have it level, it's binding, it's just where And then when you put it back up, same exact way. You take a rope, lift the one end up to where it's pretty close, get underneath, put the other end up, put the bolts in it, come back over here and put this one on. I'm just gonna put all the bolts back in. One, I'll show you guys what a bad carrier bearing looks like. That thing is junk. Junk. Now we just lowered us down and away we go with this one. There we go. So guys, we got all the drive line out of here and all this stuff. I actually ended up taking the air tank out of here, the steps, so we can easily get in and out of here. And I jacked the cab up. The main reason why I did this is so that it makes it easier to get up on top of there. It's easy. All you gotta do is disconnect the airbags, unhook the shocks, jack the cab up. You can jack it up. It's probably almost, it's probably about 10 inches to a foot, something like that, somewhere in there. I think it's like 10 or 11 inches. But, and I just put blocking on there so it's all good and stable and everything. The way that I did it is with this push pull that I bought today. You can see this thing. It comes with all different attachments. That thing, it's like a big ram. It can turn sideways. It can go any direction you want. Not like a normal jack. A normal jack, you can't tip it over and then make it work. This jack, it lays down like that. And then it has a hose that goes to the pump. And you can do whatever you want, different attachments. It comes with all different kinds of different things and everything. But you can see, I mean, I still got 2 more things on there. That thing's pretty long. Works pretty good. There's some kind of animal outside making a fit. But got the cab all jacked up and everything. I'm going to actually shut her down, I think, for the night. And go get me some sleep. And then get up early in the morning and then start pulling the transmission. The reason why I did this is because we have to replace a wire harness. That's the main reason why the transmission's coming out. There is a cover on a transmission that has to be fixed because it's leaking. But it'd be easier when it's out and stuff. Removing a transmission is not that terrible of a big a deal. I mean, if you're just pulling transmission out and stuff, it's not that terrible. But the main reason why is because the wire harness. And there's plugs all up inside here, in between the cab and the frame, all through here. And we tried, me and the other mechanic, we kind of messed around with it. And he spent, I think it was 3 hours or something like this, just doing 2 plugs over on this side. And that were up into the DEF. And he was cutting his hands all up and everything. And it's got to be pulled back out, and he was not happy about that situation. So this way it's jacked up, you can get it up in there easier, plus I can get on top of the transmission and disconnect things and everything. If you take this little fairing piece off of here, you'll be able to get right up in there now. I actually brought the boss this torch. I had the torch head, and I had the tanks and a little carrier and everything. And the hose that I had, I mean, that thing is probably 12 to 15 years old, something like that. So when I have actually 2 of them. I had 2 of them at the house, and had them around forever. And just a nice little torch kit. I mean, if you're not doing a ton of torching and stuff, those things would be fine. I mean, every couple months you just have to fill the tanks up. But for heat and stuff, and maybe a cut here and there and something, hey, that works great. But I brought it all out here for him, and I went to Harbor Freight and got him a new hose and everything. Hooked it all up, and he ran down and exchanged the tanks at a gas place here in town, and they exchanged it over, and now we got a little torch in here, and I used it. I needed it a couple times to heat up some bolts and stuff. So I'm going to shut her on down. I'm going to go to sleep for a while. I'll catch you guys in the morning.